and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a part 2 of reacting to my subscribers' guinea pig cages. I know a lot of people have been waiting for me to do a part 2 and have been submitting their cages and are very excited for me to review more cages. So today I will be reviewing more cages. Again, I think I have about 40 emails sitting in my inbox right now, so I will not be able to get to everybody's cage. This is going to become a series on my channel, so if your cage is not in this video, it could possibly be in the next one. So please keep that in mind, that even if I don't get to your cage today, I am going to get to all of them eventually. So eventually your cage will be reviewed. And if you have not submitted your cage yet, you still can. You can send it to autumngracebusiness@gmail.com, and I'll have more details about that down in the description. But yeah, we have a lot of cages to look at, and I want to get through a few more than I was able to last time. So I think we should just go ahead and get into it. And a few disclaimers before we do get into it is that I am not a professional. I do not have a degree or any sort of license in guinea pig care. All of the advice that I get and all of the knowledge that I have is from my own personal research and my own personal knowledge. So do not take this as it's coming from a professional, it's just coming from another guinea pig owner and another guinea pig lover. So just please keep that in mind when you are hearing my critiques. And as well, as I had a few people say that I was a little bit too nice on my last video, so I'm going to try and give a little bit more constructive criticism in this video. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the first cage. So we are starting off with a cage from Rebecca. She says, "Hi Autumn, my name is Becky. I live in Canada and I love watching your guinea pig content and monthly hauls." She says that she has a 5x2 cage and it's made almost entirely out of coroplast because she tried to make a coroplast base for the cage and failed miserably, which I completely understand. Coroplast is literally so difficult to work with. I have never had a good experience trying to build a cage with coroplast. Doesn't mean it's not possible, just means it takes a lot of effort and skill. So she said here that this is a 5x2 cage for 3 male guinea pigs. So I think that is a pretty good size for 3 males, since it is 5x2 grids. It is going to be, I can't remember the exact dimensions, but the grids are 14 inches, so they're bigger than feet. So it is going to be probably around 12 square feet or so. I'm not 100% sure. They could probably do with a little bit more space if they're still rumbling and arguing a little bit. Males tend to do better with more space, but you have given them enough space in this cage. And their names are Pepper, Peaches, and patchouli. It's a species of fat flowering plant. Patchouli. I'll just go with that. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce it, but she said they're all around 6 months old and they get along well. That is very good. For males, having 3 of them, sometimes it's difficult for them to get along, but I'm really glad that all of yours are getting along. She said she uses a mix of fleece liners and bath math, which is the exact same thing that I do, so that's great. She also uses the Yesterday's News in their litter box, which is also what I use, so I agree with all of the choices that you've made here. She has soft hides, but since she's been bonding them, she removed them for a month to prevent any fights, so she only has tunnels and stuff. That's a very good idea. If any of you guys are bonding your guinea pigs, make sure afterwards to include hides with more than one exit so that they cannot trap each other in the few weeks after they're still getting used to each other and properly bonding. So let's have a look at the cage. I mean, honestly, it looks amazing. You have 2 water bottles. I see 1 food dish. I would maybe consider adding a second one. Oh, you do have 2. Never mind. You have 2 food dishes. And then I do like that you've done all of the tunnels so that they can't trap each other. And I like your guinea dad liners with the little pocket. And I see you have a fleece forest over top of your litter box. I really like that. I find that it really encourages them to hang out in their litter box and eat in there. I would be careful about that tunnel thing right here, this brown log tunnel. I have heard some people say that if your guinea pigs eat a lot of it, it can be not the best for their stomachs and not the best health wise. But if they're not chewing that much on it and they're not ingesting large amounts of it, I wouldn't be too worried. Something to keep an eye on for the future. And I see you have some toys in here as well. You have the little grass mat. I would maybe consider getting them some little willow balls to roll around. I feel like that could be pretty fun. But yes, overall your cage looks amazing, and I am very glad to hear that your 3 guinea pigs are getting along. And yeah, thanks so much for your submission. All right, next up we have Emily. She said, "Here's a photo of my guinea pig cage. Their names are London and Benny. They're both males and they are about 4 months old. I recently upgraded their cage to a 2-story story, which they were stoked about. I also included a pic of them both individually just so you could see the cuteness. Thank you. And then she said she loved the signs so much that I purchased for my guinea pigs on Etsy that she made her own. Oh my gosh, they look so good. So a lot on my Instagram have been posting these signs that I have for my guinea pigs, and I got them from Lil Dash of Daisy on Etsy, but the shop was closed for quite some time. So she just made her own, and I think they look really cute. Your guinea pigs are absolutely adorable. Let me look at your cage here. Oh wow, this is nice. So looks like the bottom is a Midwest cage, and then the top, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like a 4x2 CNC. So that is a ton of space for 2 males. Technically, the lofts don't count as added space, but when you have a loft that big and your bottom still meets the minimum requirements, I would say you're totally good. I would be wary. Your ramp looks pretty steep for them. I don't know if they have any trouble going up the ramp, but maybe if you made it a little bit longer so it's not as steep for them, that could be good. It looks a little steep. And then I'm trying to see on the inside of your cage, it looks like over on the right, you have some hay and a little fleece forest area. I'm trying to see, oh, you have a water bottle on the bottom. That's really great. I was gonna say make sure you have a water bottle on the bottom level in case they don't feel like going up to the loft to get water. And I see you have lots and lots of toys on top for them, which is really great. I do only see 1 water bottle though, and since they are male guinea pigs, I would consider adding a second in case they both decide that they want to drink water at, oh wait, just kidding. You have a second water bottle. I swear, if this happens and I miss something about one of your guys' cages and I say something wrong, just ignore it. Sometimes in these pictures, there's just so much to look at that I miss things. But I see you do have 2 water bottles, and looks like you're using fleece, and you have plenty of cozy hides and places for them to hide in. So yeah, I don't really have any critiques besides maybe making the ramp a little less steep just so it's easier for them. But overall, I think you've done a really great job and it looks amazing. All right, next up we have the unknown Firefox. They said we are getting fleece soon. They have ordered fleece, but it got lost in shipping, so they have to wait for some more. They have 4 guinea pigs in total. 2 of the cages are blocked off from the boys since the girls aren't spayed. All right, so I just have 1 picture here, and it is a little bit dark, so it's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on. And it does look like you are using completely puppy pads on the bottom since you're waiting for your fleece. And I would suggest that you maybe use towels instead because they are just as absorbable. They don't pose a risk if the guinea pigs ingest them. With these disposable puppy pads, if your guinea pigs are eating the puppy pad, that can be really risky for them, for their digestive systems. So I would consider maybe just using towels instead until your fleece arrives. If it hasn't already arrived by the time that I'm filming this video. I'm trying to see which guinea pigs are in which pens. You said that you have 4 of them, and 2 of the cages are blocked off from the boys since the girls aren't spayed. So I'm assuming that maybe you have 1 boy in each of the cages and then 2 girls in the larger one on the right. I'm not 100% sure, but I am going to say that I think the cage in the front left that is only 1 grid by 4 grids, that is too small even for just 1 guinea pig. So I would actually take that space and divide it the other direction. So instead of dividing it horizontally, I would divide it vertically. That would allow both your cages to be 2 by 4. Oh, that would allow both their cages to be 2 by 3, which is a better way to manage the space. Instead of having one of them be significantly larger and one of them be significantly smaller, I would divide the space vertically so both guinea pigs have a 2 by 3, which is more appropriate for 1 guinea pig than your 1 by 4 that you have. I didn't think to mention this at the time, but another option is to bond whatever 2 guinea pigs are in the individual cages as long as they are the same gender. I'm assuming on the right you either have 2 boys or 2 girls. On the left, you either have 2 boys or 2 girls split into 2 separate cages. And if you think that those 2 in individual cages could get along and they are the same sex, I do recommend bonding them, or at least attempting to bond them, so that they can have a friend, and that way they can both have a lot more space. And then I'm assuming on the right is where you have the 2 guinea pigs. It's kind of hard to see if you have more hides, but I would definitely get another hide in there for the second guinea pig. And then I also don't see a water bottle on the right. I'm assuming that there is one maybe further to the right, but definitely make sure you have 1 or 2 water bottles for them. And then also a water bottle for the guinea pig in the front. In addition, I would add more hay. You don't have a ton of toys or anything for them to do, so I would say definitely just copious piles of hay is a good way to enrich their lives and to keep them entertained. And then definitely also consider getting some toys, but if you're not in a place to do that right now, do try to do the larger piles of hay for burrowing and stuff like that. You know, hay is 80% of a guinea pig's diet, and it's also a large part of their enrichment. So do consider putting more piles of hay in your cage. And then maybe, it's hard to see in the front cage if there's any sort of like actual hide for the guinea pig besides that blanket. So do make sure there's at least an actual hide for each of your 4 guinea pigs so they can feel safe in their cage. And then add tons of more hay, I would say, especially in the front cage and the cage on the right. I'm not seeing a lot of hay in there. I see some in the back near that water bottle, and I'm assuming that that's hay. It's kind of hard to see. Again, the picture's pretty dark, but I'm assuming that's hay, and I would add that amount of hay, if like 3 times that in the rest of your cages, just to keep them entertained. I'm assuming you have pellet bowls somewhere, but make sure you are feeding each of your guinea pigs an 1/8 cup of pellets per day. That is an important part of their diet, and it provides them some vitamins that they need, so make sure that you are doing that. But yeah, just a few things I would say you need to do to reorganize the space to make sure they all have enough space, and then to add some hay to give them enrichment, and then maybe switch over to towels to decrease any risk of them like ingesting those pee pads. But yeah, thank you for submitting your cage. And then we have a submission. They say, hey, here's my guinea pig cage. It houses 2 females, Piper and Posy. So in this email, they do talk a bit about their guinea pig care. They see that they eat the oxbow Timothy hay, an 1/8 cup of the oxbow adult guinea pig pellets, and then their water bottles, and they try to give salads daily. And they also give them oxbow vitamin C tab daily. So that all of your food care sounds fantastic, and it sounds like you were doing a great job just from that first little paragraph that you've sent me. Oh wow, this cage is very nice. I love the way that you have used the wood to create a sort of border around the CNC grids. That gives it like a very clean look that I find that sometimes I don't like the way the grids look. With the wood, I actually really like the way that your cage came out. And it looks like it is about 4x4, which is an amazing amount of space for 2 girls. You've done a great job. I love your fleece pattern. It looks amazing. It's so very cute with all the florals. And it looks like you have at least 3 hides, not even including the fleece forest. So plenty of hides. You have their food dishes, 2 water bottles, and what you said about their care sounded amazing. And they have a little litter box with some hay and some toys on the ground for them to chew on. So I really think this cage looks amazing. From what you said, your care is absolutely fantastic. Your cage is fantastic, and everything else you've said sounds amazing. So I think that I have literally 0 critiques to give you. It looks great, and your guinea pigs are literally so cute. And yeah, thank you so much for submitting your cage. All right, this next entry is from LMRS The Lounge. So this cage is a 2x4 CNC cage. There are 2 water bottles, a litter tray, and a Heidi tunnel that 2 pigs can fit into at the same time. They also use the blankets as Heidi houses. They also have a log chew and a Timothy hay mat. And then in addition to the 2x4, there is another cage on the side. But it says there is another cage, which is the Living World Penthouse, and is a store-bought cage. So this cage is the same length as one Midwest cage, and she has attached it to the other cage to make one ginormous cage for her 3 girls. And I think that's great. That is definitely plenty of space for them. And then she has 3 guinea pigs, Heidi, Phoebe, and Maggie. And they are all absolutely adorable. You know I love your guinea pigs. I love your guinea pigs so much. They are so cute. And your cage looks great. I'm sure I'm not gonna have any criticism because I know you take amazing care of your guinea pigs, but it looks great. Yeah, you have plenty of food dishes, you have some water bottles, and you have 2 hay trays, which is great for them to go to like separate areas to eat their hay if they want. I would say you could maybe throw in a few more like little toys for them to roll around or something like that, because they do have a few chews, but nothing they could like roll around and play with. So maybe you could add some of that. And you definitely, it looks like you have enough hides for all of them, since you said that they use the fleece mats as hides, but I would also consider making little fleece forests, multiple fleece forests. sis. You know what I'm saying. Make maybe a fleece forest over each of your litter boxes, and that will kind of turn the litter boxes also into a hiding area, because my girls love to sleep in their hay, so maybe yours would as well, just as a little idea. But I think that it looks great, and thank you so much for your submission. All right, and next up we have Bree, who has submitted their cage. She says they have an almost 2-year-old piggy, and his name is Buzz. She said she is getting him a buddy soon, which is great. I'm very glad that you're getting him a friend. It is very important for guinea pigs to have friends because they really need that like herd dynamic. So his cage is a 2x3x4. Oh, I see. So it's kind of like an L shape. So one of the areas is 2x2 and the other area is 2x3. So that's a pretty nice sized cage. I plan on expanding his cage when he gets 2 new friends. So I do recommend with male guinea pigs, sometimes it is easier to bond them in pairs instead of triplets. So if you can find just a single male to bond to your single male, that may go over a little smoother than attempting to bond 3 males together, although you can bond 3 males together with the right process and everything. And there are plenty of videos on YouTube about that, but it is just a little bit easier to bond 2 males together. So maybe consider that over 3 males, or at least just start with that in order to get him a friend. And then we have some pictures in like your blue lighting at night, which I think is really cool. And then we have it in the daytime, and I can kind of see the cage a little better. So yeah, it looks great. He definitely has plenty of space. He's got the Guinea Dad fleece, as well as the little Guinea Dad box hides, as well as a nice little litter area for his hay. Yeah, I think everything looks amazing. You've given him a lot of space, and I'm very glad to hear that you're going to be getting him a friend in the future. And when you do get him a friend, make sure you have at least 1 hide, 1 food dish, and 1 water bottle per male pig, because they do tend to get a little bit territorial over those types of things. And I would also consider maybe adding a few toys for him, since he is alone at the moment. It is really important to make sure that he has plenty of things to do, since he doesn't have other guinea pigs to interact with. So do consider adding some toys and giving him some more things to do. I know if you just Google on YouTube, there are a ton of like DIY toys that you can do for your guinea pig. So I would definitely recommend that to keep him busy in the meantime until you get him a new friend. But yeah, I think it looks great. Thank you so much for submitting your cage. All right, next up we have a submission from Samantha. They said they have 3 guinea pigs named Abby, JJ, and Penelope. And they have a 2x6 cage with a 2x2 loft. So that cage would be about 12 square feet, which is the minimum for, I'm assuming they're girls. You didn't say what they have like girlish names, so I'm going to assume your guinea pigs are girls. And you said that you are planning to build a 2x8 cage in the future that is made of wood. This sounds like a very exciting plan. I would love to have a like homemade wooden cage myself. I think they just look so nice in like rooms and stuff. He said that they love to use the loft and the ramp, which is really great. So does it provide them some more enrichment? All right, so I see that on the bottom here you have your water bottle and your hay. I would consider doing a larger amount of hay. It looks like you kind of just have a little tiny container there. I would consider doing a larger pile of hay, especially since you have 3 guinea pigs. They're going to go through hay a lot faster than just 1 would. So do consider making that hay a little bit bigger. I think that would be nice for them to burrow in and everything. You could even do a litter box on that side of the cage so that when they poop and pee in their hay, it just goes to the litter instead of the fleece, just as an idea for you and your pigs. And it looks like you have 1 water bottle on the first level and 1 water bottle on the second. So it's good that you have 2 water bottles for the 3 of them. And you also have a little hay rack up in the loft as well, I see. And it looks like you have 1 hide in the loft and then 2 hides under the loft. So you do have 3 hides for your girls. That is great. And you also have a lot of space in your cage. And I feel like you could definitely add some like fun tunnels or something, because you do have all of this like open space in front of where the ramp is. So you could definitely like add some more tunnels there, and I feel like that could be really exciting. And I would as well consider adding some toys for your pigs. There isn't a ton for them to do in this cage besides interact with one another, which is of course the best form of enrichment you can give guinea pigs is another guinea pig. But as well, toys are a really great way for them to do something else besides talk to each other and interact with each other. So maybe some fun toys for them to roll around or play with would be nice. But besides that, your cage looks great, and thank thank you so much for your submission. All right, next up we have a submission from Kelsey. It says her guinea pigs are 2 years old. Their names are Coco and Ginger, and her grandpa built this cage for them. It is 8 square feet. So it looks like this cage is built out of wood, and I'm assuming you mean that the base is 8 square feet, and then they have like a little bit of a loft on the right side. And I just want to say that your guinea pigs are absolutely adorable, and I love the little signs that you have for them on the front of their cage. So it looks like you have plenty of hides for them. You have a little bit of a hammock thing underneath your loft area, as well as a little bee bed and some other hides, some beds up top it looks like. And I'm assuming when the cage is like closed that it would be darker because like the lid looks like it's completely solid wood. So I'm sure that kind of makes the loft like its own little hidey area, which is super nice. You have those beds for them up on the loft as well. You also have 2 litter boxes with hay, and it looks like at least 1 food dish down on the floor, and I see 1 little toy there. I would maybe consider another toy or 2 if you have room in the cage, but I do see that you have at least 1 toy. And it looks like you have 2 water bottles as well. I was trying to figure it out, but it looks like you have 1 water bottle on the front and then 1 water bottle on the side, but kind of over the litter box area. So that's really great. It seems like you've got a really good cage, and it definitely meets the minimum for your 2 guinea pigs. And the little loft especially, I'm sure, is nice for them to like hide in, especially since it'll be covered by the dark lid. So it seems like you've done a really great job. Thank you so much for your submission. All right, next up we have Miranda. She said that they have 2 boys. Their names are Dexter and Donatello. She got them when they were 3 weeks old, and now they are currently 1 month and 2 weeks. She wants to upgrade the cage in the future because they are growing so fast. So yeah, it looks like your cage is a 2x3 CNC, which definitely is an okay size for the 2 of them now. But like you said, once they become larger male guinea pigs and their hormones get a little more intense as they like approach the teenage years, they may appreciate a larger cage and some more space away from one another. So even just making that cage like 1 grid wider would be great for them to have some extra space to run and like get away from each other. But it looks like you have a nice little corner fleece forest as well as a guinea dead liner, and they can hide under that little pocket. And you have some pictures of them here, and they look absolutely so cute. And you also have a litter tray as well as it looks like a hay bag. So that's really great that you gave them 2 options. They have some toys on the ground as well as this like hay, this twig ball that is stuffed with hay. So that's really fun, like a foraging toy for them. And I'm trying to see your water bottles. It could be that they are cut off somewhere by the screen, but do make sure. Oh, it looks like you're using a water bowl. So you are using a water bowl. I would consider adding a water bottle as well, because while some guinea pigs prefer bowls, if they poo or pee in that bowl and you're not home to like change it out, then they're not going to have access to clean water. So I would consider using a water bottle, and you can keep the water bowl if your guinea pigs prefer that and you prefer that, but a water bottle would be a good like backup option in case they spill their water, they pee in their water, they poo in their water, they get hay in their water. Literally, guinea pigs are so messy that like any of those things could happen. So definitely consider adding a water bottle as a backup to your water bowl, even if they don't prefer it. At least it'll be an option there for them to get water in case they happen to soil their water. And I can't tell if the bowl is making the water orange or it's been dirtied, or perhaps you're using those like vitamin C water drops. And I would urge you to stay away from the vitamin C water drop if that is what is making the water in your bowl orange. That can actually change the like flavor of the water and cause the guinea pigs to want to drink less water. So instead of that, I recommend the Oxbow vitamin C tablets. They are a great option to give your guinea pigs vitamin C and are much preferred over the like liquid water vitamin C. If that's what you're using in your bowl, I'm not 100% sure, but if it is, do consider trying the Oxbow tabs instead. But yeah, your cage looks a great size for the age that your guinea pigs are now. I do agree that a bigger cage would be better in the future once they are adults and want more space away from one another. And I would just say make sure you got that water bottle in case the water bowl fails somehow while you're away. And yeah, it looks great. Thank you so much for submitting. All right, next up we have Louise, who has submitted their cage. They say, hello, this is Finn's enclosure. It's a 2x4 with a loft, and the cage is a little bit dirty right now, but she wanted it to be included in the video. They have blankets on the walls and around surrounding because he's small and can still squeeze through the cubes. Oh, he is absolutely adorable. He's such a cute little pig, and you've given him a good amount of space. I'm sure you're going to know what I'm going to say next, but I do recommend getting him a friend. Every guinea pig, you should at least attempt to give them a friend and at least attempt to bond them. If you're worried he's not going to bond with another guinea pig, you could reach out to a local rescue or a local SPCA and see if they're willing to let you attempt to bond him with one of their guinea pigs to have up for adoption. And then if it doesn't work, they may be able to take that guinea pig back. But I do recommend attempting to give him a friend. Guinea pigs really do need friends, and human interaction can just not in any way replace the interaction that guinea pigs get with one another. We just simply don't speak like the same language as them. So do try getting him a same-sex friend. I do think it would be the most enriching thing for his life. It's the most enriching thing you can do for any guinea pig is to make sure they have friends. It beats all of the toys, all of the hides, all of the treats. All of that is friends for your guinea pig. But it does look like he has plenty of space and things to do in his cage, even though he doesn't have a friend. You have given him a lot of stuff to do. He's got a nice little hide up top as well as some hides underneath his loft. So that's really great. And he also has some toys on the ground here. This little wooden ball toy I see, and then I see you've put some hay in that tunnel. Do beware if he is chewing or eating a lot of that tunnel. It could be bad for him to digest. But if he's only nibbling on it, I wouldn't worry too much. I have heard some people say that you shouldn't have those in your cage like at all, but then I know a lot of people use them to put hay in that for enrichment. So personally, that is a choice that you can make. That's up to you. I no longer use mine just to be on the side of caution, but obviously that is a choice that you can make yourself. And I just wanted to let you know that some people do think that the stuff in those like wood log type things, if they eat too much of it, it's bad for them. And some people just don't use them at all to stay away from that. So you can just sort of make that decision yourself, but I just thought that I would let you know. But I see you have some hay kind of coming out of the log. Even a larger pile of hay would probably be great for him to be in. And then I'm trying to see your water bottle. I don't see a water bottle. I'm gonna have to assume that you do have one somewhere. But yeah, besides the water bottle and getting your guinea pig a friend of the future if you are able to, it looks great. You've definitely given him a lot of space and a lot of things to do. So thank you so much for submitting your cage. All right, next up we have Alia. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but she says that she has 2 guinea pigs in her cage. Might look a little small as it is store-bought, but it's 140 centimeters by 70 centimeters. Let me go ahead and quickly convert that to feet so I can get an idea of how large your cage is. So I have just converted the size of your cage, and although I agree it did look small in the photos, 140 centimeters by 77 centimeters is about approximately 2 by 4 feet. So that is the minimum for 2 guinea pigs. So you have met the minimum for your cage, which is great. Their names are Mocha and Latte, which is very cute. I love those. It's kind of hard to get an idea of what the whole cage looks like, but I do see over here you have this like hay area with a little litter pan and tons of hay that they can get through the wires of the cage. I would consider just putting that hay literally just straight up on the floor of the cage inside that litter box. That's a great way for your guinea pigs to burrow in the hay and eat the hay, and it just makes it easier for them to access, which is important since it is 80% of their diet. You also have a guinea dad liner in here, as well as 2 hides for them, so that is amazing. And you also have, I see, at least 1 water bottle. Overall, it looks like you have done a very good job, and you did say that you are 10 years old. So for being 10, it looks like your cage is absolutely great. You've given them plenty of hay, plenty of places to hide. Maybe you could try making some DIY toys. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about how to make DIY toys, so you could consider that an idea as something for your guinea pigs to do. And then also putting that hay on the inside will be really enriching for them. But besides that, it looks like you have done a great job, and I love your guinea pigs. They're very cute, and thank you so much for submitting your cage. All right, and our last cage that we will be reviewing today is from Austin. I said that this cage is a 2x4 CNC with their 2-month-old guinea pigs, Macchiato and Mocha. Again, I love the coffee names, and your cage looks really cute. The picture is sideways for me, so if you guys see me like tilting my head, it's because I'm trying to like look at the cage from the front. But you have these really cute little like round gray hides, and I think those are the Night Angel brand, maybe, not 100% sure, but I do know I've seen them on Amazon, And your cage is huge. It looks like it's 4x2 grids, but it looks ginormous. I don't know what it is about it, but it looks like your guinea pigs have a lot of space. And I really love your cow print fleece. I have kind of been looking for some cow print fleece for my guinea pig cage because I just think it looks so clean and so minimalistic, but also like a fun pattern. And I really like yours. You have a litter box with some hay. You have 2 water bottles, 2 food dishes, 2 hides, as well as a little wooden hide. And I see you have multiple toys on the floor, as well as some toys hanging up on the side of the cage. So yeah, it looks great. I don't have any critiques. Your cage looks amazing. You've given your guinea pigs all the necessities and more with the toys and the extra hides and everything. And your hay's in a big, nice pile for them to play around in. And yeah, it looks great. And your guinea pigs are the cutest things ever. I love them. And yeah, thank you so much for submitting your cage. All right, and that is all the cages that I'm going to be doing for today. I know a lot of you guys have submitted your cages recently. I still have a ton of emails, even back from the middle of June. And I promise that I'm getting to them all. And I'm going to be able to review all the cages in a sort of longer series on my channel, because I do want to make sure that I'm spending enough time looking at each one and giving some decent feedback. So yeah, thank you all so much for submitting your cages, and thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you're interested in seeing more of these videos and more of my other videos, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.